Euro 2024 final. It is here, it is time. The Euros are about to be complete, which is very sad to be honest, because I've honestly absolutely loved it, covering it with you guys on this channel. But it's coming to an end, and of course the final, Spain versus my beloved England. We've made it to the final, and one last prediction to go, one last game. We're gonna go through a massive preview in this video today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through each team individually. We're gonna go through their biggest strengths for this game, their biggest weaknesses individually, and then we're also gonna have a look at the key battles in this game, and then some sort of general narratives. If like a team wins, a player might score, and what that might mean for like their legacy, stuff like that. At the end of the video, as always though, get your predictions in the comments below for the final. Who is winning? What's the score? Who's scoring? Tell me all of that. Tell me it all. And yeah, I can't wait for Sunday, because Sunday is going to be such an amazing day, not just for the Euros, because we have the Euro final, and then a few hours later we actually have the Copa America final on as well. So my plan is, hopefully if everything goes well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review for the Euro game, and then I'm going to go watch the Copa America final, and then I'm going to do a review for the Copa America final and sort of combine them together, those two videos. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Hopefully I don't, either way, whatever the result, if I'm disappointed, then I can watch the Copa America final to try and distract me, or if I'm elated, then it's going to be great and I can just have such a fun time watching that Copa final. But yeah, we got one of these coming out for the Copa America tomorrow as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But as is customary, before we get into everything, we'll quickly review the semi-final predictions I did and you did. So I actually said that France would beat Spain 1-0. I thought they would just find a way to win somehow, but it was of course 2-1 to Spain. I said that Netherlands and England would draw 1-1. They did not. I said England would win on pens. I mean, I was actually close. It was going to be 1-1, but then of course the man Ollie Watkins comes in clutch for us. Now, in terms of your predictions, let's see if any of you got both of them correct. So Owen said 1-0 Spain, 1-1 England, Netherlands. Mateus, he said 2-0 Spain and 2-1 England. So you got England bang on. He was close on France. Honestly, Mateus, it might be the best out of predictions out of everyone so far, because I remember for the quarterfinals he got some fantastic predictions right as well. So well done to him. ADG said 2-1 Spain, got that correct, but he did say Netherlands would win. Harry said 1-0 Spain, 2-0 England. Dale said 2-1 Spain, which is correct, and he also said Dani Olmo would score a brace. He didn't score a brace, but he did score, so that's a really good prediction. And he also predicted 1-1 Netherlands, England. Tiger Fist said 2-0 Spain, 1-0 Netherlands. Not Mold said 1-0 Spain, 2-1 Netherlands. Gus said 2-1 France and 1-1 England. CB7 said 2-1 Spain, got that correct, and 1-1 Netherlands, England. And A-Man said 1-0 France and 1-1 England. So nobody got the results bang on. Both of them correct. Mateus was probably the closest. But yeah, those were the semi-finals one. As I said, get your final predictions in the comments below. And also, because it is just one game, as I said earlier, do let me know like goal scorers as well, and how you think the game's gonna go in the comments below. But it's time we preview it. So we're gonna begin with Spain, and we're gonna begin with Spain's strengths. So one of Spain's biggest strength, probably their biggest strength, is of course a form, and that they are battle tested. Spain have had a really difficult run at this tournament, they have won every single game. They have played at this tournament 6 wins from 6, and unlike England, which we'll get onto, they've had to come up against some really, really tough opposition. They had to come up against, of course, in the semi-finals, the World Cup finalists of France, who, even though they haven't been playing well, it's still France, they have a lot of quality. The quarterfinals versus Germany, who were probably been the second best team at this Euros in terms of performance. Okay, round of 16 they came up against Georgia, cool, but in the group stages they also went up against Italy and destroyed them, and they came up against Croatia and destroyed them. Now Italy, Croatia, you could say, oh, you know, they weren't the best, but still, it's still Italy, Croatia. They still have to face Germany and they still have to face France. Spain are battle-tested. Spain have played really high-level quality opposition, so they're not really going to get thrown off necessarily by the quality of England. And they are going to be completely ready, and they're going into this in some incredible form and confidence. They've already beaten the best, right? So they're going to have a lot of confidence. Another positive, a strength for Spain, is the experience. Now, Spain's squad, I mean, generally is fairly young, but they have a nice blend of experienced players, and of course nobody has really won anything on the international stage for Spain in this current crop. But what they do have is some serial winners, at least in the club game, who have played in many big finals before, which is going to massively help them. This man here, Dani Carvajal, he has been there, done that. He scored in the Champions League final this year. He knows how to win finals, and he will perform no matter what in a Champions League final. And I fully expect him to do the same at the Euros. Same with his Real Madrid friend Nacho. Again, 34 years age, captained Real Madrid in the Champions League final this season. Very, very much used to the big stage. You also have the likes of Rodri as well. Rodri, 28, played in Champions League final, scored the winner in a Champions League final. Again, somebody who is most likely not going to be flustered from the big occasion. And they also have one of the only remainders who has won something with Spain, I believe, Jesus Navas, 38 years old, probably won't play, but will be a vital player to have in the dressing room. And, you know, if Spain are winning and they need to hold out the game, bring on someone like him. Again, a serial winner with Sevilla, winning so many Europa Leagues, playing in so many finals with them. As I said, I believe he was part of the Spain team that won the Euros last time, or it might have been the World Cup, so he's been around that winning environment, and all of those players with that experience of winning at the club level and performing in major finals, it's going to be a massive factor for them. Another positive for Spain are their fast starts. Spain typically in their games start games really well and really positively, and as we'll come on to, England don't necessarily do the same. Now against France they did concede first, but they came back almost instantaneously. In the first, 20 minutes they had turned it around. Quarterfinals against Germany, again, they went 1-0 up fairly early on in that game. Round of 16 versus Georgia, they went a goal down, but they were absolutely flying out the gate straight away. Same against Croatia, they were 3-0 up in the first half. Spain start games on fire, and if they can do that in this final and get a lead early on, that might rattle England, and that is a very good thing for Spain. Another positive is in their squad they have a lot of depth, and they have some real good game changers off the bench who can add something for them and help them manage the game if need be, and we've seen them do that very effectively at this tournament. For example, in their last game, Ruben Lenormand have the likes of Audible again, who's been really solid when he's come off the bench. In particular, though, Miguel Molino has been a real weapon off the bench. Of course, scored a winner versus Germany, but also he's been utilised very effectively in a sort of, when they're winning a game, to try and lock off the game. He's a good presser and very beefs up that midfield very well. So they have some real good players off the bench. They have some good depth and quality. So if things aren't working, they can change up a bit, which is promising. And that's really most of the strengths I have for Spain. Most of the strengths. Of course, they have that like feel-good factor and everything. In terms of that weakness, though, one of the weaknesses I have identified with this team is concentration and late goals. Now, against France, they didn't concede a late goal. They did manage to survive, but France would pile on the pressure late on, and they did have a couple chances. Mbappe had a good chance at the end, and they could have very easily conceded late on in that game. And particularly against Germany, this was the problem, right? They conceded in the 89th minute, the first goal, but even before that, they were getting, pummeled really late on in that last 10 minutes. They sat back a bit, and Germany just piled on the pressure. And that's something which is a little bit concerning, especially as we'll get on to. England do like late goals, so that sort of concentration aspect. If Spain only a goal up with about 10-15 minutes to go, there could be a bit of panic in the Spain squad, and that's not a good thing. And it's also linked to another one of their weaknesses, where they tend to sit back when they get the lead, and I don't really think that's what they're best at. It happened versus Germany. Telefonte took off Yamal, took off Nico Williams, and he sat back after about the 70th minute, and it didn't really work. Germany started imposing themselves, and as I said, created lots of chances in the last 15-20 minutes. Same thing against France. They sat back after they got the lead second half. They sat back and allowed France to get into the game a bit. France had a couple chances, and on another day could have potentially snatched a goal from that, because Spain were sitting a bit deep. So if Spain, as I said, if they get a goal early, because they are early starters, they might get a goal early, but if they don't get another one, and if they don't have a 2-goal lead in this game, I am a little bit worried if I was a Spanish fan, because they do tend to sit back in games once they have the lead and allow teams on them, and they could be susceptible to a late goal happening. But those were really the main weaknesses. Another weakness is also penalties. Spain really don't have a good record just historically in penalties, and in particular they've not had a penalty shootout. They've not even faced one penalty in normal time in this game, in this tournament. So I have no idea how Unai Simon's going to fare. I have no idea how any of their players are going to fare in the pressure of a penalty shootout. Whereas England, of course, have come up in a penalty shootout, and we've seen they're pretty good at penalties. So that's another thing. If I'm Spain, have to get this done in 90 extra time. I don't want this going to pens at all. Alright then, let's talk about my boys, England. So, what are England's strengths now? I just mentioned one of them, penalties. Penalties is a strength for us, of course. Versus Switzerland, we beat them on pens, and we looked really good at penalties. Obviously, it's different quarterfinals compared to a final, and we all know what happened last time we were in a final penalty shoot. Oh god damn, Donnarumma, man. Anyway, but yeah, it does look like England. We've got experience now in penalty shootout at this tournament. We know that we have some good penalty takers, and we know that Jordan Pickford's a good penalty stopper, so we do have that psychological edge. If it does go into extra time, and it does go to pens, you would probably favour us to win. Another big positive. A big positive is the late goals, and that we gotta stay in the game, and we have the ability to score at any moment. as I said, Spain have shown a little bit of a susceptibility to sit back a bit too much and invite pressure on late on. So that's a real big positive as England fan. Obviously, if we are losing and it's like the last 10 minutes, I'm going to be concerned. But you should have some faith and hope that, okay, the game is definitely not done, because we have proven that in this tournament we can find a way to get a goal late on, and they will keep going, the boys, to find one. Another strength is depth. Similar to Spain, very similar to Spain, we have real good game changers off the bench, and we have proven it at this tournament. Luke Shaw has come off the bench in recent games and done pretty well. On the left hand side, Ezri Konsa has come in for Mark Gay when he had to and played pretty well. But most importantly, these areas here, Cole Palmer has come off the bench at pretty much every game. Every time he has come off the bench, it has been absolutely incredible and helped change the game. And of course, first for Netherlands, he was the guy who got the assist for the winner. You also have Ivan Toney, who, let's not forget about him. Ivan Toney against Switzerland did really well. Changed the game for us. Also against Slovakia as well. Eberiche Eze, again against Slovakia, really good. Against Switzerland, very good as well. Has the ability to offer something different. And then of course, Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has proven in that last game that he can come on and, even with a half chance, just make a goal out of nothing. And those substitutions, those attacking substitutions in particular, who have the ability to impact the game, it's going to be really useful, where if we are trailing, then we know if things aren't working, we can change it up, and we have the quality on the bench to make an impact. Another positive for us is experience. Now, I think in terms of personnel, we don't necessarily have much experience as Spain, in terms of we don't have too many serial winners, if you like, who have played in tons of finals and won them and starred and stuff like that. We got a couple like John Stones playing in the Champions League finals, same with Carl Walker, Trent has, I guess, but no one's like Carver Howe or Nacho, just a serial winner. But what we do have is, over Spain, we have an experience of playing in a Euro final, and most of these have played in the Euros final. This is a pretty similar squad to the Euros final team, players like Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Declan Rice, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Carl Walker, Pickford. They were all there for the Euro final, and obviously we didn't win, but that experience of playing in a European final, playing in a Euros final, is going to help the boys, or at least hopefully should help them, because they'll be like, okay, we've been here before, we know what mistakes we made last time. Maybe, that first time they had too many nerves. This time, obviously they might still be a bit nervous, but it's a case of, okay, we've been here before, let's try and make it done and make it happen. And most importantly as well, our manager Gareth Southgate has also managed in a major final like this before, and again can say, okay, what went wrong in that Italy Euro final? What can I improve on from that final and change and implement here? Whereas Luis de la Fuente, of course, has never managed in a major final in his career, so that's a little edge we might have, hopefully. Hopefully that's something we can lean on. Okay, now what are our weaknesses? Our biggest weakness for me we are slow starters, and that is a real problem, because as I said, Spain are very fast starters. We really don't start games very fast or very well. Netherlands conceded in the first 6 minutes, right? I know after that we did pretty well, but still, first 5-6 minutes conceding, that's poor. Quarterfinals versus Switzerland, we didn't concede, but we didn't really come out for box firing or anything. We were pretty timid, pretty poor, pretty passive. Slovakia, again, pretty poor, pretty timid, and then Slovakia hit us with a goal in like the 20th minute or something. Slovenia, again, pretty slow, pretty timid. Most games this tournament we have been quite slow, and it's taken a goal for us to actually kick into gear. Against the Netherlands, after they scored, we actually started playing. Against Switzerland, after they scored, we started playing. Again, against Slovakia, I mean, to be fair, we didn't really ever start playing against Slovakia, but still, we played a bit better once Slovakia scored. And that's a bit worrying because, sure, we might be able to come back, and we've proven that we can come back up from being a goal behind, but you don't really want to be going a goal behind that often. And when you're coming up against this quality Spain side, as I said, start games well, there could be a case of I'm worried here that we start slow, we concede, and then maybe we even concede another one. And if you go 2 goals down early on, yeah, that's a bit of a mountain to climb. So that is a real concern. There is another aspect which I'm a bit concerned about, and that's sort of the pressure and I guess the experience factor. Now it's kind of like a catch-22. What I was talking about with the Euros and how we played in the Euros final before, I'm hoping it's going to have the effect I mentioned earlier where, okay, we've played in this final before, these guys, we know what mistakes we made last time, we're not going to be too flustered this time, and we can build upon that experience. But it could also have a negative effect where that pressure of, oh my god, we're here again, I remember what happened last time, we lost, and the pain and that, I don't want this to happen again. You know, there might be a bit of a mental block there. Especially, you know, if it goes to penalties, for example, and, you know, players start, you know, obviously I don't wish it happens, and hopefully, you know, he showed first Swiss he can score a pen, but like Bukayo Saka, for example, if he stakes a pen in a penalty shootout, but it's a final this time, you know, there could be that mental block that happens. So yeah, that's something which could be a bit of a problem, and also the pressure factor. Spain are the favourites for this, but England have the pressure, if you like, and the expectation. Like, Spain have overachieved getting to this final. Like, no one really expected Spain to do it. If Spain lose, it's going to be very disappointing, but no one's going to be like, oh my god, what a disgrace, what a rubbish tournament. If England lose, and if they lose poorly, then people are going to be like, oh look, we had an easy run, how good was this really, we were so lucky we got found out by the better team. So there is that sort of pressure factor which I'm a little bit concerned about. And also, another weakness, my final weakness, is late substitutions by Southgate. I mentioned that we have game changers off the bench, and, you know, to be fair, when he's brought on players, they have made an impact. You know, Palmer, Watkins, obviously in the last game, right? But he usually only makes those substitutions very late in the game, or it's typically after the other manager makes a change, or we go a goal down, and that's a concern. That is a concern because in a final, when you're playing a team like Spain of this quality, if you're that late to make substitutions, and you know the game might be gone by then. The game might be gone, and yeah, I do worry that the substitutions, even though we have game changers off the bench, they might come on too late in this game and not have time to impact the game. And he's only going to bring them on, you know, if we concede a goal. And that was a problem in the Euro final as well. Didn't make those changes quick enough when Italy was starting to go on top. Didn't make those changes. I'm hoping he's learned his lesson, but you never know. Right, let's talk about some of the key battles then. Some of the key battles in this game where it's going to be won or lost. So we have to start in the midfield. The midfield, this is where I'm a little bit worried, to be honest, as an England fan. I'm a little bit worried. Because Mainu has been incredible. He was incredible versus Netherlands. We're going to need him to step up. But it's a big ask for him at his young age to do that. Declan Rice, we're also going to need him to step up. This is where we might see the best of Rice, because defensively we're going to need him. Because this is where Spain are really and Rodri have been absolutely incredible together. Absolutely incredible. And Danny Olmo in the number 10 position as well. Almost been one of the best players at this tournament. That trio in midfield have been superb. Nobody has been able to stop them. Germany couldn't stop them, almost scored against them. France couldn't stop them, almost scored against them, you know. So I am a bit concerned about this midfield battle, and we might get overrun in there. I am a little bit concerned because Spain's midfield have been absolutely superb. But if Manu can perform, if Rice can, you know, prove his worth and defensively lock down Olmo, then England have a great chance of progressing and winning this game. The right side for Spain, this Yamal, this is where Spain, I think, are probably going to have their most joy, or should at least be targeting this area. Yamal, as we know, absolutely incredible, and has been one of the best players at this tournament. And he's coming up against, of course, on the left-hand side for England, where we've had quite a few problems. Most likely he's coming up against Kieran Trippier, who has not really impressed this tournament. He's not been great. Now Luke Shaw could potentially start, but I doubt he will, because he hasn't had much football. He might come on at half-time, as we've seen in previous games, but even if he starts, you know, he's not fully fit. Coming up against Yamal, Theo Hernandez, who's a fantastic left back, probably better than both of these two. Couldn't deal with him. Rabiot couldn't deal with him. You know, N'Golo Kanté couldn't deal with him. Saliba got dragged out there sometimes, couldn't deal with him. So Yamal's going to have a lot of joy. Yamal, or at least on paper, will, and that's going to be a real problem. We're really going to have to step up and try and stop him. Equally on the left-hand side, Spain's best asset is their wings, because they also have Nico Williams on the left-hand side, who has absolutely destroyed every wing fullback he's come up against. You know, Jules Koundé did a pretty good job, but Nico Williams still had his fantastic moments against him. Now Kyle Walker, I do have a lot more faith in Kyle Walker. This could be the battle where the game is won and lost, because Kyle Walker is fantastic usually defensively. But coming against Nico Williams, going to be a big test, and Nico is one of Spain's biggest threats, so if we can stifle him and Kyle Walker can do a job on him, then we've taken out one of Spain's best attackers, so that's going to be huge. Also for us, the right hand side is going to be interesting. Bukayo Saka, if he starts on the right, which I suspect he will, he'll be coming up against Marc Cucurella. Now Spain defensively have been okay, but I guess if you're going to pinpoint maybe one defender out of that back line you can maybe target is Cucurella. Cucurella's been fantastic this tournament, he has, don't get me wrong, but as a Chelsea fan I will tell you that he's not flawless, and you can definitely get him. And I've seen Saka, when Arsenal smacked us up 5-0, unfortunately, Saka tore up Marc Cucurella, and you know, Saka has been doing really well in recent games. Come up against Marc Cucurella, that's going to be a big battle. Let's see if Cucurella can deal with him this time. And yeah, also for us, Phil Foden coming up against Rodri, of course his Man City counterpart. That's going to be a real good battle. How's Rodri going to deal with him? How's Rodri also going to deal with Jude Bellingham? We saw Foden do much better against the Netherlands. Can he have that much joy against Rodri, who is of course one of the best midfielders in the planet? So that's going to be really interesting. Alright then, let's talk about some of the narratives then before we do our final prediction. So, if England were to win, the Kane curse, 0 trophies goes to Bayern. They don't win any trophies at all. Is he cursed? Can he break it? Can he do it? Can he break the curse? And if he loses this final as well, is it actually real? Does he actually have a curse? Will he ever win a trophy in his life? That's the question. Jude Bellingham, the Jude Bellingham narrative. Jude Bellingham, if he scores in the final and England win, Bellingham's Ballon d'Or case is pretty good. scored in the final. Scored, of course, the winner versus Slovakia to keep us in the tournament. He's got a good case. He's got a good case. The Southgate redemption arc. The Southgate redemption arc. Everyone's doubted him. Everyone's clowned him. I have been one of those, admittedly so. But can he silence everyone and win it after failing of the last Euros? Is he going to come back and win it? Or is he going to prove everyone, I guess, right and lose back-to-back Euro finals? Yeah, that would be pretty damaging. Then you got some of the Spanish narratives. Of course, the main one, Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old. Guys, if Lamine Yamal scores the winner in the Euro final at 16 years old, god damn, I don't know what sort of conversations we're going to be having on Sunday. I don't know what sort of conversations we're going to be having because, guys, Lamine Yamal, 16, if he scores a winner, which he could definitely do, or he has a man of a match performance, oh my gosh, yeah, that's going to be scary. There's also this other element of, could this be the start, if Spain win, the start of a Spanish era of dominance? Could it be? You know, they still have, of course, many youngsters in this team. It's still quite a young team with a bit of experienced guys. They played absolutely incredible. They win this, they'll won every game of this Euros. Going into the World Cup, they'll be up there for one of the favourites. So, yeah, could this be a return of a Spanish era of dominance, potentially? Rodri, he's clutched up in a Champions League final before, scored the winner. He's a clutch player. Could he clutch up again? Scored a winner. If he scores a winner and clutches up, guys, Rodri might have a Ballon d'Or shout. He might have a Ballon d'Or shout. Carvajal, Nacho, the last dance, their last chance to win something with the Spanish national team. Nacho is, leaving Real Madrid. They both won the Champions League in Nacho's final season with Real Madrid. Carvajal and Nacho win the Champions League, they win the La Liga, and then to top it off, they win the Euros together. The last dance, they'll probably retire. They're probably not going to be at another major tournament after this, so this is their last chance. Same thing for Alvaro Morata. As captain, he's had a lot of stick. He's had a lot of stick from the Spanish media as well. As captain to live the Euros, he's hinted this could also be his last tournament. In his last game, wins it. That'll be something. Jesus Navas as well. Definitely his last dance. As I said, I'm pretty sure he was at the last time Spain won the Euros. Could he be a multiple generation winner? That would be something. There's also the Golden Boot race. Dani Olmo and Jude Bellingham. Oh, sorry, not Jude Bellingham. Harry Kane are joint on 3 goals together. Now, I believe Olmo has more assists, so he's currently in top. But for one of them scoring the final, they could nick it. And also, player of the tournament, I think, is very much up for grabs. You know, if Kane, if Saka, if Bellingham score in the final and England win it, they could potentially get it. Maybe if it goes to a penalty shootout, Pickford saves penalty and he's a hero, maybe. If Yamal scores in the final, starts in the final and Spain win, he could definitely get it. Dani Olmo scores in the final, could get it. Nico Williams, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, all of these guys. Yeah, it's very much up for grabs. Anyway, it's time. The prediction. What do I think is going to happen? Having said all of that, having analysed both teams, what do I think is going to happen? Right. So I'm. Oh God, it's so hard to be unbiased in this situation. I'll give you two. I'm gonna give my head prediction, and then I'm gonna lock in my heart prediction. opposition. They have some experienced guys in there. They have some great attacking players. They proved in the France game that they can lock down and hold a lead when they need to. We have rode our luck many times, relied on individual brilliance. I don't know if the individual brilliance though is going to quite cut it, and they're going to have a chance to actually show that individual brilliance when they're coming up against a really good team now. I'm concerned, the likes of Rodri, Laporte, Carvajal are just going to stop our individuals. I also worry about our defence. Has it really been tested at this tournament? It looks shaky at points, and we haven't really come up against an electric attack. Spain have an electric attack. My head is saying 2-0 Spain. That's my head. But there is no chance I am predicting us to lose. There is no chance. I'm saying 2-1 England. 2-1 England. I think we're going to find a way. I hope we'll find a way. I could definitely see us. I could definitely see Spain scoring first. As I said, we're slow starters. I think Spain will probably score first. And they'll probably score first, I reckon. Almost been fantastic. Will score first. Might stun us. But I actually think, and I hope, that's going to help us a bit. Spain might relax a little bit, and we might say, okay, let's try and build into this game a bit. Let's build possession. That will help us. We'll grow into the game. And then, yeah, I think a bit of individual brilliance. I reckon Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka score goals. And I reckon we turn it around and win. That's what my heart says. My head says that we lose, but look, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But guys, let me know in the comments below your prediction, your thoughts for